Next up is NYCFC.
Oh, nice.
This one also should be pretty straightforward, I think.
Yeah. So Josh Saunders in goal?
Josh Saunders in goal, yeah.
Of course.
No, Sean Johnson in goal.
Tommy McNamara's got to be in here somewhere, right?
The human toe. Sean Johnson in goal. This one's a no-brainer. U.S. men's national team caliber. And basically the only reason they're in half of their games anyway. Right back, Anton Tinnerholm, probably the best right back in the league. I'd struggle to find anybody better. Kynes and Chanot have been there for the last couple of years. Again, this is a little bit of an easier one. They don't have a lot of players to choose from. Ronald Matarrita, stop me if you disagree with any of these. That same back five, right, including goalkeeper that they've had the last couple of years until Mata moved on. Alex Ring, James Sands, and Maxi Morales as a midfield three, because you had to fit Sands in there, and Tony Rocha just doesn't do it for me. And then when we went forward, it got a little bit interesting because this front three has been interchanged a lot. My front three are Jack Harrison, Ismail Tajiri-Shrowdy, and David Villa. Because of Jesus Medina's inability to capitalize on being a designated player early, I couldn't put him in here. The other thing I was thinking was Tati Castellanos at right mid, but he's been more of a striker. So I wouldn't disagree if you told me Castellanos for ITS.
I did Medina for ITS.
Why?
I don't know. I think for some reason, every time I think of ITS, I think of him playing as striker, just because of how thin they've been there.
Sure.
And I do feel like Medina's starting to break out a little bit this season and showing a little bit of what we were expecting to see from him. But I don't disagree with I don't disagree with him not being in this position because he has been very disappointing, especially for a DP.
He's got 14 goals in 68 MLS appearances. And that, I mean, it's not bad, like by any stretch of the imagination, but as slow as it was for him to kick off, as a 2019, 3 goals and 18 appearances. And I know it was a shortened season. Now that I look at the just pure numbers, right? It's really tough to say that he wasn't. He 6 goals in 28 games, 3 goals in 18 games, and now 5 goals in 22 games in 2020. And what's he on now? He's got like 2 or 3 in the first 5 games here. He's not awful.
No, I mean, he's definitely not. I wouldn't.
He's not nearly as bad as the media makes him out to be. I think he misses key chances, right? If you think back to the Orlando game 2 weeks ago, where he was in on goal 1-on-1 in the 95th minute and he shot it straight at Gallese. It's those types of things that make him think, oh man, he's not up to the level he needs to be. I'm okay with swapping Medina. I would maybe rather consider Castellanos.
Yeah, I'm okay with that too.
Because I think he's just been better, and I think if you put him at right mid, he'll naturally float into the striker spot and turn into more of a 4-4-2, which is fine anyway. But yeah, I think he probably deserves a spot more than Medina, even though he's a flopping penalty merchant. But here we are.
I don't disagree with you on that one.
I'll never forget the game I watched, and it was against Philly, and Matt and I were watching it. And like it meant nothing. In mid-season, like they weren't trying to fight for anything. And Philly goes up 2-0, and I swear that this guy had nobody around him. This was multiple times. He did it twice. He drew 2 penalties in this game. And he had nobody around him, like 3-4 feet. And he just takes a tumble and the ref gives it. And he's like rolling around on the ground and laughing. And I'm losing my mind. And that's like celebrating. I'm like, this is awful. This is so bad.
You know what else is pretty bad? You know, Tati Castellanos is younger than us.
You're lying. Stop.
I'm not lying.
What is
he was born in 1998.
I'm old.
That feels wrong.
It's so wild to think like 5 years ago we were thinking like, oh man, one day like I'm gonna know players like who play pro or play like college or whatever. Now I'm looking back, I'm like, you guys are all 17. Like, what happened?